Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Net represents Uneducated Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. And before we get started, I'd like to thank everyone who has subscribed, who has liked, who has commented on Uneducated Network, and those who comment on my show, Uneducated Sports Talk as well. We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Please, those who haven't, go ahead and subscribe. You missed out on something great. We got good things going on for Uneducated Network. We're going to get better, more popular, more stronger. So we have a lot of things going on right now, a lot more things going on in the future as well. So please be ready for everything that's coming right now. Before I get started into my show, I was going to say, be prepared because tomorrow starts the first day of the 32 for 32, which is going to be 32 NFL teams in 32 days. I will start off with the lowly Cleveland Browns. And then the last day, I'll start off with the New England Patriots, the defending champions. Basically going from worst to first. So we're going to do it like that. So be ready for that. It's going to be amazing. Also, we're talking UFC coming up in a few weeks. We're going to talk about the McGregor versus Mayweather fight and all the controversy going on around that on one show. It's going to be just good minds, good barbershop talk about the fight. So be ready for that as well. Got that coming up. And we got a lot more things coming up, part of Uneducated Network. Crazy. Got new shows coming out, so be prepared for that. Like I said, thank you for those who have subscribed. And those who haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do it, man. It's right there. Just hit the subscribe button right now. Uneducated Network, and you will see my show on Uneducated Network as well. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. That being said, we're talking strictly NFL today. Today will be the NFL 2017 Hall of Fame class. And I'm very excited for this class because it's actually guys that I grew up watching or I know about very well. You have Morten Andersen. You have the kicker, Morten Andersen. You have Jason Taylor, defensive end for the Dolphins. You have Danian Thomason, running back for the Chargers. You also have Terrell Davis, how you want to say it. Terrell Davis of running back for the Broncos. And then the big news is Kurt Warner, quarterback, mainly for the Rams, played with the Cardinals as well, seasoned with the Giants. We'll talk about that a lot more. You had some old guy that made it in, and you had a guy that no one really cares about in Jerry Jones. I'm playing, if you're a Cowboys fan. But the owner, Jerry Jones. So those guys came through in the clutch, and it's probably one of the more better Hall of Fame class for people like me who actually saw these guys run, because there's usually like 2 or 3 guys that you didn't watch in the 70s or the 80s. Or even the early 90s play. And now I'm very happy because it's guys that I grew up watching. That being said, let's start it off with Morten Andersen. Probably known as one of the best field goal kickers in NFL history. 382 games played. He is the NFL leader. The man, I think he retired at the age of like 57. Now I'm playing, but he was probably in his mid-40s when he finally retired and hung it up. He played a long time. 13 seasons with my New Orleans Saints. He played 8 seasons with the Falcons. Played a season with, I guess, the Giants, I think the Chiefs, and the Vikings. Something like that. So, but he was known for just being in the league and being representable and being a threat every time he went out there. He led the league in total points in NFL history. You know, it adds up when you hit 3 points every single time for a field goal and 1 point for after touchdown. So those points add up. So if you would ask a random person about a football question, say, hey, who led the league in or who's all time in points? No one would ever say a kicker unless you are knowledgeable of the game. They always say like a wide receiver or a running back, but no. Kickers get a lot of points. You add 3 times 25 to 30 every year, plus every touchdown you get 1 point. That's a lot of points. 2,544 points Morten Andersen got, which is NFL career high, all-time high. So the man has been there. His story that he gave for his, I haven't watched the whole entire Hall of Fame speeches yet, but he did give a story about his first time playing in the United States, playing football, how it was a very weird experience trying to kick. He said he saw a lot of butt. And this guy, he said a lot of derriere in his face. And then this guy grabs the ball and just turned around. He just doesn't understand it. His coach said, just kick the blank out of it. If not, I'm sending you back home. So I thought it was a very cool story on his part. But he played a crucial part for the New Orleans Saints. He's basically retired, not retired, but he's in the Hall of Fame for the Saints. 13 years. I mean, you can't beat that. 8 years with the Falcons. So he basically spent his whole entire adult life playing football and kicking. And that's, hey, when you're making money just from kicking the football, that's not a bad idea. So all my brothers and sisters out there, anybody, you want to get your kid going somewhere, get him to kick a ball. I mean, it's nothing like kicking the ball and sitting down chilling. Next on the list is Jason Taylor, the feared defensive end. He played a majority of his career with the Miami Dolphins, 11 years, He had 1 year with the Redskins and 1 year with the Jets, but he is known for being a Miami Dolphin. And, 13 years with the Dolphins, This guy is known for Mr. Strip Sack. It felt like every time he had a sack, he was going for the ball as well, and he would strip that football. And I remember every time he played, when he got the edge, I said, oh, he's going for that football. And every time I thought about it, usually he's in Miami, so I didn't see him every game he played, but the games I did see, when he got a sack, that ball was coming out, man. He did a damn good job of doing that. He is second all time in NFL history in forced fumbles. 48 forced fumbles. The man is a strip sack machine. He is seventh all time in career sacks with 139.5. It kind of sucks at that 0.5. You want a good round, even number. 140 would be fine. But if I'm him, I'm just saying, yeah, I got 140 sacks. 139.5, that's a little shabby. Let's go 140. Yeah, but 139.5 sacks. That man was a machine getting to the quarterback. And he's all time in defensive ends for most defensive touchdowns run back. He has 6 fumble returns for touchdowns, which is also all time for a defensive end. So the man was always causing havoc, not by just getting sacks, but he was an artist at the sack fumble. And a lot of guys don't really do that these days. They're so into me these days. They want to just get the sack. But sometimes you want to get a little greedy. How about you get the sack and force a fumble? Because what would you rather, a forced fumble or a sack? And a lot of guys go for the sack. Jason Taylor, he'd rather the forced fumble. Let's get off the field. Let's get our offense rolling. Let's do that. And a lot of guys don't think about that. Their technique nowadays are kind of bad. They're more raw power and skill instead of trying to get the fumble. The object of the game is to get the ball, right, and to score the ball when you have it. That's the object of the game. So Jason Taylor made it very, very easy for his teams at least have a chance of scoring because he did a lot of strip sacking. And so Jason Taylor is another guy who's going to the Hall of Fame. Very well deserved. Both of these guys I just said, they're very well deserved, man. Third on the list, LaDainian Tomlinson, the running back for the San Diego Chargers. He spent 9 years over there. He spent 2 years with the New York Jets. This guy personified class, LaDainian Tomlinson. Outside of that little issue he had with the Patriots back in the day, which is rightfully so, he had an issue with how they were marketing him when they won. But outside of that, personified class, a very good guy, very well mannered, and he's just a guy that you root for your whole entire life. Guys like him. He was the 5th overall pick in the 2001 NFL draft and a 2-time rushing leader, 2006, 2007. This guy was so shifty. He brought a balance that was scary. We all know about Barry Sanders, what he could do, but he wasn't really a threat when it came down to the passing game. LaDainian Tomlinson was one of the first running backs to actually be a threat, both running and rushing. Both running and receiving, He had a 5,000-yard receiving in his career, 13,000 yards rushing in his career, 13,684 rushing yards, and he's second in all time in touchdowns, 145 touchdowns. So it basically means he saw the end zone, 17 receiving touchdowns, 145 rushing touchdowns, and he's second all time in rushing touchdowns. He's third all time in total touchdowns with 162. So always a threat every single time he got the ball. And he was one of the ones that started that scat back. And he wasn't really a scat back though. He did all his dirt work running, but when he got the ball, he made good usage of it all the time. This generation now is starting to get up. He is the first person to be inducted into the Hall of Fame whose career began in the 21st century. He's the first person. So now we will start most likely seeing guys that we grew up watching. Because I think you got to wait 5 years. So whoever retired 2012 or before that, we'll see them being inducted to the Hall of Fame in the next upcoming years. So I'm very excited to know who we got coming up next, because this class is guys I grew up with, and I'm like, whoo, here we go. So LaDainian Tomlinson, he is, like I said, personified class. I'm so glad he made it to the Hall of Fame because he deserves it. Everyone on this list, in my opinion, deserves it. And I'll ask you guys questions soon, but he was the first scat back. And he made it happen. But the thing was, he wasn't really a scat back. He just played a scat back when he had to. He was still a threat every time he touched the ball, running or receiving. So LaDainian Tomlinson, kudos to you. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame. He joins Morton Anderson and Jason Taylor. Let's go with number 4. And we're talking Terrell Davis, the running back of the Denver Broncos. Yes, sir. How you do that? I don't even know the Maha salute. Is it this way or that way? I forgot, man. It's just something like that. I got bad shoulders, so my shoulder game is kind of awkward. But this is the perfect example of making the most out of your career. Making the most out of your career. He only played in 7 seasons with one team, the Denver Broncos, in 1995 through 2001. That lets you know the shelf life of a running back is not long at all. It's not. But in those 7 years, he made a huge impact. First of all, John Elway, you need to thank Terrell Davis every single day you see him, because without him, you will not have any Super Bowls. I promise you that. Terrell Davis is the one that made it happen for the Broncos during his time. 3 Pro Bowls in 7 years. 3 Pro Bowls. 1998 MVP, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. I think it was 96 and 98. 2 Super Bowls. This guy right here, drafted in the 6th round, and you wonder why people don't go too high for NFL running backs. If I'm a GM, you can find a running back anywhere. And it's personified who he was. He was in 1995 drafted in the 6th round. 6th round, the gym. You can find running backs all across the board. There's a few special running backs that get picked up early, but you got to be real special. But I wouldn't go for those guys. I would go for a need like an O-line or something like that. But running backs, you can find them anywhere. And Terrell Davis is another example of another diamond in the rough, another gem that you got. He did his thing. Like I said, only 7 years, but he made the best out of every single year. And that is why he is going to the Hall of Fame. He probably has the least amount of stats. But besides that, what he did on the field in those 7 years is the reason why he's in the Hall of Fame. You cannot beat a 2-time champion, a 2-time MVP. I mean, so a 1-time MVP, a 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. They led the league in rushing, like I think once or twice, something like that. So in those 7 years, he made it happen for those Broncos teams. If it was not for him, there would be no great John Elway, because John Elway would be just another guy who did not win a ring. But just because Terrell Davis was there, John Elway has 2 rings now. And you thank Terrell Davis, man. So he has been inducted to the Hall of Fame with Morton Anderson, with Jason Taylor, and LaDainian Tomlinson. Terrell Davis, number 30. My salute to you, brother. Congratulations. And on to the final guy, the guy that everyone wants to talk about. The guy that was so iffy, borderline. Should he not? Maybe not. Well, guess what? He is in the Hall of Fame. Kurt Warner, the quarterback for the St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf. He played 1 season with the New York Giants, and then he played 5 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. This guy personified a real man's journey. He said himself, the reason why I'm probably in this, no one has gone through what I've gone through in my life to get to where I am and to get to my NFL career. No one. And guess what? He's absolutely right. He's right. There has not been another story, and there might not be another story like Kurt Warner. This guy was just, he was a grocery store clerk, 1996. Something like that, and like just couldn't make it, or 97, something like that, and he was in Iowa. he was in Iowa, chilling, just being a grocery store clerk, him and his wife, and they're like, you know what, It's fine. I'm gonna keep trying out, but this is an example of a guy pursuing his dreams and not giving up. I promise you, they will make a story on Kurt Warner. It'll be in the movies. I don't know what they're gonna call it, but please someone write a script for it, bring it to some of those directors or whatever, and they'll put a movie for it, because this is a perfect movie of ups and downs. And not only in his before football career, but we're talking about during his football career, he had a lot of ups and downs as well. Let's start off with he played for Northern Iowa College. All right, had a good college career, but he didn't get drafted, went undrafted. So he tried out for the Green Bay Packers. They cut him. All right, so he goes back to his hometown Iowa. He becomes a grocery store clerk, chilling. So he decides, well, let's go to arena football. He plays for the Iowa Barnstormers. Like that's a weird name, Barnstormers, but hey, it is Iowa, so I'm pretty sure they loved it. He goes there for 3 years, 95 to 97, and he balls out. Well, nothing comes up. He said, let me go to Europe. So he plays for the Europe NFL League, pretty much, the Europe Football League, and he's playing for the Amsterdam Admirals. I remember that now. Yeah, in 1998, played the season out there. He just trying to make bank, make bucks, make money for the family. Then he comes out and he gets a phone call from St. Louis, and one of the guys, gets him on the team. He doesn't think he's gonna play. He goes in the training camp, he's doing his thing, and he looks okay, they say. But Trent Green is still the starter. And by freak accident in week 3 of the preseason, Trent Green goes down in the third quarter, and you're like, the whole and you wonder why quarterbacks don't play a lot in the preseason, especially if you're known as a starter. You don't play too much because accidents like that, in most cases, would ruin a franchise for at least that year. In this case, it made the franchise that much better. They just came from a 4-12 record with Tony Banks as their quarterback. You already know that Dick Vermeil was on the hot seat as it is, sweating. So he had to make a move. And he said, we are going with Kurt Warner. And everybody's like, who? Him? Kurt Warner? Oh, hell no. Dick said, if I'm going out guns blazing. I trust this kid. Let's go. I'm the head coach. Follow my lead. And guess what? It all worked out. Kurt Warner took the league by storm in his first season. 41 touchdowns to 13 INTs. Ratio is crazy. Greatest show on turf. He was just slinging the football left and right. You had Marshall Faulk. You had Torrey Holt, who was the 6th overall pick in that year as wide receiver. Marshall Faulk was a dual threat running back with the Colts, and he came in. So they had something going on. And that team was amazing to watch. And it's funny, growing up, I was actually rooting against those guys, me growing up. But now I think about it, man, that was actually a fun team to look at. I'm a lot older now, but 4-time Pro Bowl. He's a 2-time MVP. He wins the Super Bowl his first year. The first year he plays, 1998. He goes back in 1999 and he loses against the Patriots. That starts the dynasty of the Patriots. And then he plays another couple good seasons. Then he has that one bad season in St. Louis and they cut him. He's done. 03. Then 04 he goes to the Giants. Well, he is the starter for the Giants. But they just drafted Eli Manning. So now Eli is known to be, I'm going to be the starter. I'm just waiting for this old man to break or choke or whatever. Kurt Warner doesn't. He's had a bad season. It's a mediocre season. And he's cut. Eli Manning's a starter now. They say, well, we trust Eli. Eli's the guy now. Kurt Warner's like, well, I'm pretty much done. That was one of his low points of his NFL career, that one year with the New York Giants. Arizona calls up. Hey, man, we look for a quarterback. We don't know what's really going to go on, but we want you to come here. Mind you, he's already been in 2 Super Bowls as it is. He takes Arizona. Takes them in 08 to the Super Bowl. That's crazy. He takes them to the Super Bowl. And they had this magical year to where they go to Super Bowl and almost beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kurt Warner almost led that team. This is supposed to be Kurt Warner who's washed up, who's nobody. But one thing about him, faith. He's a very, he's a man of faith, and I like that. And he never gave up. His wife, she is a lady of faith. She stuck by her husband's side through the thick and thin. He's one of the rare guys to have his wife elect him into the Hall of Fame. And I respect that because he said it best. She has been with me through every piece of this journey. The only one who can say that, who has been with me. She's been with me through the good times and for damn sure the bad times. And we stuck together all the time. And his wife is about that life because she always let people know, presidents, owners, newspapers, hey, how she feels is how she feels. And she'll let them know all the time. So I respect her for always having her husband's back. And that man had career 66% completion rate. So that's crazy right there. 66% for your career. That's when you know he's very accurate, man. He does his thing. And you can't beat his numbers. 12 years in the league, and it doesn't even feel like it's 12 years. It felt like he only played like a Terrell Davis, like a 7-8 year career, but he played 12 in his career, and he did some magical things. He was hot, and then in the middle you thought he was washed up and just done, like most quarterbacks do. You know, they have their little 4-year career, and then after that they kind of get for the average quarterback. Then he resurrected himself to a star when he played for Arizona and brought them to the Super Bowl. And they didn't win, but he's been to 3 Super Bowls in his 12-year career and won one. 2-time MVP. He is the best story in this Hall of Fame class. To wrap it all up, it's going to be a wonderful night. It's almost over, but I'm going to go ahead and rewatch it. But I want to let you guys know, how do you feel about this Hall of Fame class? Who do you like? Do you think Kurt Warner deserves to be an MVP, in the Hall of Fame or not? Who do you not want to see in this Hall of Fame class? And who are you looking to be in the Hall of Fame next year? Who you guys got? There's some good names out there, man. So let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Facebook. My name is Carlos Clayton. I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Check me out on Twitter at Carlos Clayton _. I repeat, at Carlos Clayton _. Hit me up, man. So, like I said, get ready for our 32 for 32 starting tomorrow. We'll talk all Cleveland Browns pretty much. Got that going on. We'll go on from there, man. So this is Uneducated Network, which presents my show, Uneducated Sports Talk. And you know what it is. So all sports fans, stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace.